Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Friday, January 21st. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy, Fresh Trot Wham. We'll have Skee Profit momentarily joining us as well. Breaking down the Friday card, we got 11 NBA games. Everybody in the chat already. Starchild mentioned I have to bring it up. It's one of my favorite songs from back in the day, Far Side. She keeps on passing me by, da-da-da-da. Classic. Classic hip-hop, Starchild. Never a bad choice. All right, we got Friday NBA card. Let's get to it. We got lots of games starting with Oklahoma City and Charlotte. We got Charlotte 9-point home favorites, 224 the total in this one. I don't like this spot for Charlotte. I'll tell you that. They're laying a big number. They're coming off back-to-back road wins, satisfying road wins against the Knicks and the Celtics. And we've seen this already from Charlotte. Yeah, they get up and play well against some really good competition, and then they can lay flat sometimes in some of these spots when they're bigger favorites against inferior teams, like they did against Orlando. I remember that game just 1 week ago. Charlotte was laying 11.5. I took Orlando, and Orlando ended up winning that game outright, 116-109. I know OKC lost 3 straight, but they were right in the game against a great Dallas team who's on a roll right now prior to last night, although they did lose to Phoenix. Cleveland, they lost by 5. They did get smacked down by the Spurs a couple nights ago. San Antonio was kind of in a bad mood that night. I think you got the Thunder maybe sitting on a better performance here in this game. And, the Hornets in that kind of spot, I don't necessarily trust them in laying a big number here off a couple of road wins now returning home here. When you look at it from an injury standpoint, Thunder should be relatively healthy. So should Charlotte in this game. But I'm thinking of the Thunder here with the +9 in this one. It's not a great Charlotte spot in my mind. I could see the Thunder hanging for the full 48 minutes. That's something they've been doing quite a bit lately, hanging around in games. Dutch, what do you think here? OKC, Charlotte.
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. It's Fresh Friday. Got that fresh Prosecco in the plane. About to take flight. Yeah, man. Real talk. Hit that motherfucking like button like we about to hit these motherfuckers straight over the head. Muchly appreciated, man. Real talk, though. Everyone in the chat, share the video, retweet it if you can. Muchly appreciated once again. Yeah, I like the Hornets here, though. I'm on their side, yeah. I'm locked it in minus first half, 5.5 first half. I just think there's levels to this shit, and I like the Hornets, man. I like Scary Terry. Shout out to my guy, Wham Bam, hitting him over the motherfucking head with the easy money last time he was on the court. I think that'll continue. I like me some LaMelo, not necessarily all the showboat shit. Hey, dude's playing a little defense, rebounding, assistant, does a little bit of everything.
Triple-double.
Hey, Mr. Fuck around and get a triple-double. Do whatever you want, LaMelo. Just cover this 5.5 for me first half. Miles Bridges, best improved player of the year. We talked about that all year long. I like Gordon Hayward. I mean, I could just continue to go on, but, they're 7-1 ATS last 8 first halves, 6-1 against the number the last 7. They're 12-2 against the number at the house, and the Thunder are 1-7 straight up last 8 on the road. I look at this as just a better team. They do usually, Hornets do play well at the house. I do agree, Ian, a little bit with the large number. Obviously, that's why I cut it in half. And I look at the Hornets; they handle business early, so I'm gonna go ahead and get in and out. Not mad at the full game, but I like the -5 in the hooker with the Hornets there in Charlotte.
All right, there you go. Hornets -5.5 in the first half here for Dutch in this one. All right, Wham, OKC, Charlotte.
I'm not mad at that first half, man, for the Hornets, bro. 8 of the last 10 in the first half. I think this team does continue to do that. They're number 2 in shooting, true shooting over the last 5 games. They're also number 2 in opposing points per game. We know what type of team this is as far as the pace. I do like Terry Rozier. The only thing that kind of gives me a hold back on the 3-pointers is the 3-pointers for the OKC, what they're allowing opponents. They're top 5 in holding opponents at the 3 there. So it's one of those things that I was keeping in mind there. But as far as this team, I do like Terry Rozier again, over 20.5 points. He's hit that total 6 out of the last 9 games at 66%. I think we could get over that Terry Rozier as well. As far as the side, I like the first half, like you said, man. It seems like that's the money spot rather than taking the full game, even though I believe that they kind of would blow these guys out. So I can see the blowout there too.
All right, there we go. A little split opinion on this, which I like every now and then, having that kind of situation. Everyone's kind of on different sides. Skee, what do you think here? Thunder and Hornets.
I don't know. I don't agree with this total going up. Right? Didn't this total. It opened 221. I think it's up to 224, something like that.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with that. I look at the last 2 weeks. Hornets games been averaging 208.5, and from the coach and from the players, all we've been talking about is, they got to start playing some defense, and they're the second defensive rated team the last 5 games. So, I mean, it's not like OKC has some crazy great offense. Their game's only averaging 220.3 the last 2 weeks. I think this total is going the wrong direction. I would play it more under.
All right, like in the under here, Lakers and the Magic. Lakers 5.5 point road favorites in this one. 218 the total between these two teams. It's a kind of a pick your poison, isn't it? 1-9 the Magic. That's straight up in their last 10 games. The only win was at Charlotte just a week ago. 116-109. They've lost 3 straight games by double figures. Dallas, Portland, Philly. Man, not easy to back them, but I'm not laying 5.5 with the Lakers against a varsity basketball team right now, let alone the Orlando Magic on the road. Just not happening, not doing it. So we'll see if the Magic can regroup. 111-104, that loss against the Pacers the other night. I don't know what happened in the fourth quarter. Just a piss poor job down the stretch. Such a bad way to end that game, losing to a Pacers team that, well, they were really reeling, and now all of a sudden, back to back with the Lakers and the Warriors, what's gotten into Indiana all of a sudden? Nevertheless, it's still a terrible loss for the Lakers when the great James Worthy can't even say anything and speechless after the game. No speech in the post-game show after that loss. Tells you all you need to know how bad that was down the stretch for the Lakers in that game. As far as the personnel goes, LeBron is a game-time decision tonight for the Lakers. I don't know what the hell they're going to do if he doesn't play, but it looks like he's been upgraded to probable with the abdominal thing. So he'll play. Orlando still banged up a little bit in terms of who they're without. Wendell Carter is a game-time decision, although upgraded looks like as well for this game tonight. I'd actually take Orlando with the points before I lay them with the Lakers, but it's not like I'm really loving either side in this game, but it would be the preferred way, taking Orlando. Total's been bet down. I understand the Lakers here, 2 games in a row under, and the Magic aren't exactly lighting it up offensively here, but we did see the Magic score a bit against Philly, and they gave up a bunch to the Sixers in that last game, and it did go over the total. I'm not in the troop of people betting it under, and not with the Lakers. I'd actually wait till maybe this total bottoms out and maybe look to go over the total. Skee, what do you think here, Lakers Magic?
I'll be real quick in my Dutch voice, back with this motherfucker.
Bravo. That deserves a clap right there. That's
man.
great work right there from Skee Profit. Wham, how about you, Lakers and Magic?
Yeah, man, we got the Lakers sandwich. That's what it is, the breakdown. You get me and Skee in between the 2 guys that we know they're not going to bet the Lakers here in this spot. Let's be honest here. The Lakers are pretty much falling apart. I think Indiana's last 2 games had something to do with the opposing teams rather than just what they've been doing. As far as what you've seen with Steph in the freaking overtime, he didn't hit any shots at the end. But neither here nor there. As far as Orlando, we know how bad they are. They're getting guys back, though. They got Wendell Carter Jr. Scheduled to make a 7-game absent return today. That could be interesting there. But this Laker organization pretty much falling off up and down over the last 10 years. Do I respect them? Do I think this gets here? It's funny how the Magic thing happened. Now they're playing the Magic. Can Frank Vogel lose to his old team? He might get fired after this if he loses. It's very interesting here. I think they come out hot, though. Last 5 road games for the Lakers, they covered 4 of those last 5. And this team for the Magic, they only covered 5 of the 18 games this season at the house. And someone did put in the chat that they're 1-8 over the last few games. So I do like the Lakers here, man. I think they win this game and cover the first half. So I like the first half more, though.
All right, like in the first half here, -2.5 for the Lakers. Dutch, Lakers Magic.
Yeah, man. Hey, that was a beautiful thing, Ski. I don't even gotta say it. Just put that motherfucker up there, Big Show. But big shout out to Tiffany. I see you. My guy Kyle, Mr. Woodworker. I see you, dude. Mr. Mark Nick, always in the chat supporting us. Much love, everybody. It's absolutely appreciate you coming in, joining us daily. Hit that motherfucking like button if you would.
All right, we go the Clippers and the Sixers now. Sixers 8.5 point home favorites, 213 the total between these two teams. You've got the Clippers off a overtime loss to Denver. Another piece of evidence that you just can't trust the Nuggets laying points, and they showed you against the Clippers as Denver wins but does not cover. They escape with a 130-128 win. All of a sudden, what's happened to the Clippers? They're getting in these shootouts 2 games in a row here. 139-133 against Indiana, and then the loss against Denver as their defense has kind of abandoned them in the last few games, although they have been able to still score points the last couple, 139 and 128 in the loss to the Nuggets in overtime, even without, obviously, Paul George. And, they've had Morris also in and out. Marcus Morris, he's questionable, and Nick Batum as well. And once again, a game-time decision here as he's still in COVID protocol. So keep an eye on the status of those 2 guys for this game tonight. For the Clippers, Sixers, they enter in off a 113-110 win against the Magic. Joel Embiid just, treated the Magic like as a little toy in that game as he was just terrific. 50 points in that game, 12 rebounds, easily a double-double in that game for Joel Embiid in just 27 minutes to get 50 points. How about that? How's that for efficiency?
Beautiful.
And making the most of your court time. He was able to do that there against the Magic. I definitely think spot-wise, Philly could roll here. I lean to the Sixers maybe in a first-half full-game split in this one. You look at all of a sudden the Clippers. I'm just trying to bring up the recent numbers. And again, they've trended kind of oddly in these last 2 games where they've trended backward defensively and they've suddenly trended up a little bit in terms of their offensive execution. And you look at them in terms of pace a little bit, it's gone up just slightly the last 3 games, playing about a possession per game faster as well in the last few games compared to their season average. So maybe for that reason, this game goes over the 213 as well. Wham, we'll start with you here with this one, Clippers, Sixers.
Yeah, man, I expect CJ McCollum to go over his points. He's been doing that at a good rate there since he's been back. As far as this team, come on now. It's 29.5. We're just expecting Embiid to, do 30 here again? Let's go over that total, man. I'm not scared to go over the 29.5 against a team that we know is going to play a fast pace, top 7, number 7 in the pace over the last 5 games, Portland. I think you're going to have to get some type of tempo from this team here. Maybe some quick adjustments, something like Ant Edwards was mentioning, him wanting to be Catmore to be like quick adjustments from Embiid. He goes over to 29.5 points. As far as the side here, I think the side is kind of a little bit outrageous for me. I think it may be a little bit more closer on Portland side as far as the offensive, what they're going to be able to do. Nazir Little has been having a little struggle since CJ McCollum's coming back. I can see him having a better game in this game. So I don't want to have anything to do with the side. But as far as the props, I do like CJ McCollum over points. And then I do like
Wham, you're talking about Portland-Boston here, right? You're talking about Portland-Boston, and you're talking about McCollum.
Oh, my apologies.
You're
My
talking
apologies.
Clippers-Sixers.
My apologies. My apologies. My apologies.
Oops.
My apologies.
It's all good.
I have it like mixed up here.
That's that Cali.
Yeah, I have my notes mixed up here. My fault, y'all.
$3 dono from Kyle, by the way. Thank you very much.
Don't do me like that, Big Show. Don't do me like that, Big Show.
Hey,
all right.
yeah,
So say less.
Kyle's
But I do have action on this game. It's as far as Embiid, I'm over the 29.5.
Hintlian, I would think. Yeah.
Okay, because
I got a link with my boy Wham, man.
Trying to kill it.
Yeah. And I know Kyle. Kyle watches the hockey show I do every day too. So it's Hintlian though, I think is how you pronounce it. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
I ain't even gonna try this. I'll stick with Kyle.
Yeah. All right. So where were we, Wham?
No. So I'm on Embiid. No, I'm on Embiid. I was gonna let y'all cook. I'm on Embiid over 29.
Likes Embiid in this one. All right. Good stuff. All right, Skee. Clippers and Sixers. That's the game we're talking about.
Man, I roll with Wham, I guess, on the Embiid points. I don't see nobody stopping them on the Clippers. For this total, Clippers, the Sixers been going under 5 of their last 7 games, but they've been dealing with higher totals than this. Like over the last 2 weeks, they average a little bit more than 213, and Clippers games average a little bit more than 218. So I think it's a little bit low, even though neither team plays with the high pace. I think Sixers going to score a majority of the points in this one, but I like the over. If I have to play anything else, it's going to be Embiid over his point prop.
All right, so over the full game total and Embiid points props for Skee in this one. All right, Dutch, Clippers and Sixers.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to our guy, Paulie Walnuts. Of course, big shout out to Mr. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet player of the day. Big show if you would. Put up his plays. Have it, but I don't have it in front of me. But it's at 68%. So we need to know what those plays are. I believe it's Detroit and one other. But yeah, big shout out to our guy coming in daily with winners. Big shit. Yeah, this is a clear backwood for me. Backwood, this motherfucker. When he started talking CJ McCollum, I was like, wait, is this a back? But nah, this one is a backwood.
This is a backwood.
Yeah,
CJ
the
McCollum plays for
Blazer
the
game, I'm about to
Sixers?
hit
When did that trade happen? Yeah.
Hey,
we're
Ron,
like,
can you
damn,
drop
I
it in
was
the
like,
chat
this is
again
good-ass
for
shit.
me?
Yeah.
Hey, can you get
Appreciate
Ron
it,
to
Ron.
drop it in the chat for me? I can't get it.
Yeah, drop that shit one time for us, Mr. Crawford. Appreciate you.
There we go. All right, good stuff. All right.
If I threw y'all all the way
Yeah.
off, I threw everybody
Right,
the fuck
yeah.
off on
Yeah.
that.
Miami, Atlanta.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the next one. Yes, Miami and Atlanta.
was like,
As we get the now I'm screwed up now too. All right,
Yeah, he's
Atlanta
like, what the fuck
2.0
did we
Hey,
do?
favorite.
but I am on CJ too, though. I'm on CJ too. I wrote my shit down. I'm thinking like, damn. And I look at the pace, and I'm like, just reading off notes. So I thought, y'all.
I mean,
My
in
fault,
fairness,
my
the Clippers
fault.
and
I'm on
Blazers
CJ
kind
too,
of the
though.
same type of shit too, you know.
They're all backwards.
They both kind of around there smelling like shit, you know. But I ain't lying. My bad. Go ahead, Ian.
We are on the Miami Atlanta game. That's right, Miami Atlanta. That's the Heat versus the Hawks. There we go. 2.0 favorites Atlanta and 219 the total in this game. So Miami's beaten them twice. They've played a lot lately. This will be their third time playing each other this month. Miami's won the first two, and they've covered the first two. Is really anything going to change here tonight? I'm not so sure. Now, Atlanta has won 2 in a row. Let's give them that. They came back. They beat Milwaukee. They beat Minnesota 134, 122. It does kind of feel like, hey, Miami's beaten us twice. Don't we want to get them back? They are playing a little better, but Miami is not a team I'm looking to bet against when they're dogs. They're not underdogs very often, and I don't really love betting against them in this kind of situation. Now, they're going to be a bit shorthanded. No Tyler Hero, no Kyle Lowry tonight for the Heat, but Hawks still with their key personnel out as well. Bogdanovic is definitely ruled out for them tonight. Bogdanovic, Danilo Gallinari's got an Achilles situation. He's a game time decision. And Clint Capella went through shoot around this morning. So, yeah, he's a game time decision. But if he's participating in that, you would think that maybe he's going to end up cleared and playing here tonight in this game. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet likes Atlanta. So kind of points to the fact that it kind of feels like an Atlanta spot. Miami's kicked them around here a couple times this month. Maybe they get them back here, and they got a little momentum with 2 straight wins. For that reason, I'm passing. But still, I stand by what I've said. Matchup-wise, Miami's matched up pretty well with Atlanta. They're a dog. I could only look at the Heat, but I understand the case for Atlanta here based on maybe them playing a little better last couple, little positive momentum finally, and looking to finally beat Miami for the first time in 3 tries this month. Skee, we'll start with you in this one, Miami, Atlanta.
And this game just reminds me of a couple other games we've talked about the past week or so, and I can't help but think like in those days I had a lot of action, and I still made a little bit of profit on the day. But on that game that I bet, I lost like 3 or 4 bets, and I don't want to do that right now. Like I think Atlanta, like I really don't want Atlanta. You guys know how I feel. Until they trade somebody or figure things out, I don't want what they're offering. And Miami, when I look at them, they've been better lately defensively. They've been better on the boards. They're getting healthier. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. Like I feel like the spread, like why the hell are they underdogs? So I don't know. The last couple of times when it felt too easy, I just remember, the Bulls whooping on the Cavs.
Yep.
And it was another game before that. It was the same deal. So I'm going to stay off, but I do like the over. One thing I know for sure is, Atlanta's not going to play no defense. On the season, they're 28th defensive rated team. The last 5 games, they're 27. They are going to play with pace. Both teams top 10 offensive rated teams the last 5 games. The number I made for the game should have been closer to 222 at least. And I don't know if I mentioned, but Atlanta games averaging 230.8 points per game the last 2 weeks. So I like this one up and over.
All right, liking the over in this one. Yeah, I mean, definitely Miami can score. Atlanta's been definitely better offensively than defensively. They've been terrible defensively. The only concern is the snail pace of Miami, 98 possessions per game, very slow, bottom 3-5 team in pace in the NBA. But again, offensive efficiency can overcome that, and they might be able to do that because of just how porous Atlanta's defense is. Yeah, you play slow offensively, but if you're getting buckets, way more often than not, can make up for the lack of still hopefully get you over the total tonight. Dutch, what do you think here? Miami, Atlanta.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to JPZ, Mr. Don Mack. I see you, my dude. Excuse me. Mr. Eric Brown. I see you. Mr. JB Brown. Yeah, he said it. He said it's a backwood. Well, he said it halfway. It's a backwood, but a good game, though. So what that is, we all know what that is. It's the motherfucking exotic backwood. Exactly what it is. It's got some good flour in that, but it still does me right not to hit that backwood. So, yeah, it's a clear backwood for me. Exotic.
Okay, all right, Wham. This is Miami versus Atlanta, Wham. That's
Slow down, settle down,
on one
settle down,
side,
Lugano,
the
settle down,
Hawks on the
Lugano.
other side. Yeah.
Then none of you guys mentioned Capella may be coming back. He's a game time decision. He most likely will be in this game. And let me get on y'all ass for a second. As far as the Hawks though, man, come on, let's be real, bro.
Now we're just being mean now. Yeah.
No, you guys are being dragons. It's cool though. It's cool. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. It's all good. We could take that. But no, I do like Bam to go over the rebounds today. But I just want to see if Capella's in the lineup. It's about a -6 points towards the defense percentage for opponents if he's in the lineup there. So that's a big difference, I believe. They're ranked 27th. I think Skee mentioned it, that they're pretty bad at rebounding, the Hawks, and it's been the opposite for this other team. They're top 5 in defensive rebound percentage. For the Heat, I think that Bam could get over that if he's not in the lineup. I do like DeAndre Hunter again. We talked about that before, over 14.5 points, but I think we may be able to get a better number than 14.5 if Capella's in the lineup. So I'm staying away as far as right now, but those could be possible additions later on.
All right, we got Portland, Boston. Now we have Portland, Boston. Boston 8-point home favorites, 212 the total in this game. This was a tricky one because the Blazers have shown some life, I guess you could say, the last few games. Is it enough to want to take them here in this spot? It's the ultimate question. What we know about Boston is they've started to put it together, play a little bit better, more consistently the last little bit. And play better, although that came to an end the other night against Charlotte. They lost 111-102. That snapped a good run. They had gone 5-1 in 6 games and then lost to Charlotte. So you got Boston off a loss. Portland played, let's be honest. I mean, they beat Orlando. They beat Washington, who's been up and down. They did have a good win against Brooklyn, but Brooklyn, that night just didn't have a good game. They beat Sacramento. They got drilled by Denver. They got beaten by double digits by Miami. I don't know if I fully trust the Blazers here. Of course, when you look at the injury situation, they've got Nasir Little game time decision for this game. Lillard's still out. Powell's still out. Marcus Smart game time decision for the Celtics. They finally showed his absence, and they missed him the other night. They struggled offensively with LaMelo and company without Marcus Smart. He's questionable for this game. Kind of does feel like a bounce-back spot, though, for the Celtics, and I don't want to take Portland because of that. So this is a backwood for me. It's a tough one for me. I don't know if I want to lay this much with Boston, but I don't know if I want to get there with Portland either. Wham, you were so excited to talk about this game that you're going to start first with this one. Portland and Boston.
Yeah, man. I think CJ McCollum has 20 points at least here. So we're going to go over 19.5 points for CJ McCollum. He's going to have to be the main guy to keep these guys involved in this game. With Marcus Smart being added into the lineup, I don't really like that because I am on Al Horford over 3.5 assists. But I feel good about the line movement. I got it at plus 118. Right now it's minus 156. So I definitely feel good about the line movement there, but participation trophies doesn't give us money to make the bills go around. You know what I'm saying? So Neither here nor there. I do like that CJ McCollum is far as the best thing here in this game out of the 2 that I mentioned. But as far as the side here, I kind of would think the Portland Trailblazers play a little bit competitive here and be able to cover the spread. So, again, it's nothing I bet on, but this is exotic backwood on the side, like my guy Dutch would say.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Dutch, speaking of Dutch, Portland, Boston.
Yeah, man. We're going to B-Town. I ain't going to lie to you. It's going to be exotic as a motherfucker tonight. And Rip City is very fitting because we will be hitting it. And I believe that, this is realistically how I should really start this off with is on Boston. Boston minus 8.5 against any motherfucking team in the association. Fucking forget about it. No fucking way. I mean, who's going to – I can't co-sign anybody. You bring in anybody. I don't give a fuck who's playing for the Blazers? I'm taking it. I locked in the 8.5. I ain't gonna lie to you, and it's mainly a fate of the Celtics. I believe the Celtics probably find a way to get it done, at home. But the fact that them covering, I just don't. And honestly, the starting five for the Blazers is pretty nice. A little weak on the bench. I believe Little will be out there. But McCollum back, they got enough, I think, to compete with these boys. And these fucking Celtics, they just fuck around. It's just what they do. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this game outright. They're 2-5 ATS last 7 at the house. 1-5 ATS last 6 at home versus a team with a losing record. So they play down to the competition, and they're 2-8 ATS last 10 as a favorite. So they don't play well, as I mentioned, being a favorite, let alone laying a fuck 8 in a hooker. So I got to look the Blazers here. Say what you will about the motherfucking Portland Trail Blazers, but they're 4-2 ATS last 6 against the number. They're 6, and straight up, they're 4-2 in their last 6. And they're 3-1 ATS last 5 in Beantown. So they like the trip. I know they got different names on the back of their jerseys, but I look for Portland to be competitive, like my guy Wham Bam said. McCollum to get his. Simons has been balling out. Nurkic down low should be a problem for them. Jalen Tatum, they can't seem to both get hot at once. So one of them get hot, contain the other, and get out of Beantown with at least a cover of the 8.5.
All right, liking the Blazers here. And I'll tell you what, the Blazers were in position to cover against Miami, and then
they played well.
Typical Portland in the fourth quarter against Miami. The other team played defense. They didn't. And that was the difference in the end. And that's why they lost by double digits to the Heat.
That was Miami, though.
Yeah, that was.
Good point. Yeah.
Not the same team. Miami definitely, hands down, better than Boston. Skee, what do you think here, Blazers and Celtics?
I hate Boston's offense. I just don't like it, And they do play defense, too. But if Portland was playing anybody else, I'm expecting Portland to get a lot better offensively because they're healthy. I think that they'll start to play faster, and I think the defense will continue to be garbage because that's what it's been for the past few years anyway. So I think the total is a little bit too low, but I don't trust Boston side to help us out. So I'm going to stay out of it in this one.
All right, Toronto Raptors, Washington Wizards. We've got Washington 1-point home favorites, 217.5 the total in this game. After these tough, close calls, the last couple, actually in 3 of the last 4 Toronto Raptor losses, they've had some real close calls where they just cannot execute in the final minute or two, whether it's get a stop, whether it's make a big shot, get a rebound, all that stuff. They just haven't been able to put it all together in the final minute or two of a game. The 4-point loss at home to Phoenix, 5-point loss at Miami, 4-point loss at Dallas the other night. The Raptors have been there in every game. I think this is the night they get over the hump and finally win a close game. I like them here against Washington. I think they get the job done. They've played on the road a lot, admittedly, the last few games. But Washington, to me, is struggling quite a bit. They've lost 2 of the last 3. They lost a tough one to Brooklyn a couple nights ago. May not be easy to bounce back from that. They lost to Portland in a terrible home loss, 115-110. The other wins were they beat Philly when Philly was a little bit depleted, Orlando twice, and OKC. So the wins have been nothing to write home about for the Wizards. They've kind of struggled as of late. And Toronto's actually played very well against Washington. They've won 2 of the 3 meetings this year already against the Wizards, including outright as underdogs the one time they came to the nation's capital here to play them. So I like Toronto. I think this is their night to finally get over that hump, win a close game. Wham, we'll start with you here. Raptors, Wizards.
Yeah, man, this is a backwood. Only thing I would look to do is probably Kyle Kuzma over 8.5 rebounds. But other than that, that's it.
And same old story for the Raptors. We wonder and wait on whether Gary Trent's going to be back tonight. He was supposed to be back a couple games ago. He didn't come back. He's supposed to be back the last game. He didn't come back. And once again tonight, he's a game-time decision with that ankle issue. So we'll see. What do you think here? Skee, we'll go to you here. Toronto, Washington.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this game to you guys. I don't like this game a lot. We have a lot of games on the board.
All right. Dutch, what do you think here? Raptors, Wizards.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Viper, Black Thor King. I see you, my dude. Paulie Walnuts. Yo, real quick, we got 250 motherfuckers in here, and we ain't even hit $100 yet. Come on, you lazy motherfuckers. It takes one finger to hit that bitch. Do it real quick one time for me, and backward this motherfucker for me as well, Big Show. Yeah.
Hey, T-Mac said we need to yell. He in the shower. That's funny, bro.
That is. That's good. That's
At
well
least
done.
at least he's staying fresh. I ain't mad at him.
Ain't mad
That's
at
right.
you. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, we got Chicago, Milwaukee. Milwaukee, 11-point home favorites, 227.5 the total in this one. I mean, it's just a depleted, decimated Chicago Bulls team at the moment. Lonzo Ball, obviously Zach LaVine. And you add on some key reserves as well, like Derek Jones and, Javonte Green, Pat Williams. I mean, it's definitely a lot of shorthanded pieces right now for the Chicago Bulls at this point in time. We'll see if they can bounce back here. It's been tough sledding, we know, for the Bulls. They did bounce back last game against Cleveland, 117-104 against the Cavaliers, despite all the missing pieces. They got great performances from DeRozan again, 30 points, Vucevic, 24. It was really Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu, the rookie out of Illinois, stepping up with 18 points. One of his better games, 18 points, 8 assists for him in that victory against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll see if Chicago can, even with this shorthanded lineup, be able to play as well tonight. And this time, though, they got to go on the road and try to do it against the Milwaukee Bucks, who really hadn't been playing well. 4 of their last 5 they had lost. Credit to everybody that was alongside me on this show that liked Milwaukee the other night. It was a good spot for them against Memphis. Memphis was shorthanded, and the Bucks got it done, 126-114 in that game. A much-needed win for them. We'll see how this one goes. I don't know if I want to lay this much with Milwaukee, but you get the sense that maybe after getting back on track the other night, they're not ready to slow down here. And don't forget for a second that Milwaukee sees Chicago atop the Eastern Conference standings right now. They probably maybe want to remind Chicago tonight, hey, we're the defending NBA champions here. We've still got something to say about what you're doing here. You still got to beat us to win the title and be the get Eastern Conference supremacy. So I think Milwaukee's got focus tonight. And if they have the focus, they could potentially run away and hide with Chicago. Remember, Chicago got beaten up on the road at Memphis earlier this week by double digits. So it would be Milwaukee or pass for me, maybe first half full game split. I think the over gets there as well, 227.5. We're seeing a lot of high-scoring ball with Chicago right now, not a lot of defense. I think it goes over the total. Skee, we'll start with you, Bulls, Bucks.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I'm not mad at the over either. Bucks are going to play with pace, and Chicago is the worst defensive rated team in the last 5 games. But I'm gonna just stick with the first half in this game. We've seen a couple of times where Bucks can't play for 48 minutes. I know they did in the last game, but just the first half margin, the last 3 for both teams, Bucks plus 9.7, Bulls -3. I'll go ahead and lay the -6 in the first half. Like you said, Ian, I think they remind them, they still the team to beat in the East.
Yeah, it's the defending NBA champion. Every year during the regular season, you've got to pick the spots when you think they're fired up and they play for 48 minutes and they play strong. They're wired in. They want to win. They want the game. They're interested in the game. The Lakers when they were the champs, the Warriors, go on down the list. All the defending champs, a lot of times they just go through the motions in a lot of regular season games. You've got to find those 1 or 2 spots throughout the regular season where they're interested, where they're focused, where they want it. And I think tonight this could be one of those nights for Milwaukee. They want it, knowing that Chicago right now is leading the conference, and they've kind of been up and down. So just like when Milwaukee blew out Golden State, remember on that national TV home game recently? They wanted that game. They were into it. I think they might be into this one too. Dutch, what do you think here with Chicago, Milwaukee?
Yeah, man, strong points, Ian, and from our guy Skee as well. I'm digging what both of y'all saying, and the chat's agreeing as well. Felix, our guy Felix, row your boat, and Lit Picks, both right on it. I think, and like our man Skee said, get in, get the fuck out. First half, don't play with it. You touched on a lot, both of you did, and another thing that is big is our guy Drew's back in the lineup. Came off the bench last night, probably, or the other night. Probably will start tonight. If not, shit, you're bringing Drew Holiday off the bench. That's pretty damn good. But they are getting healthy. They got Connaughton. They're getting real healthy. And also, I'm looking as a smack spot here, strictly first half -6 for the Bucks. Bobby Portis probably will get off against his old team. I think the rebounding edge is what this is going to come down to. The rebounding, the Bucks are second in the NBA in rebounding. You got the 29 team in the Bulls in rebounding. So I think that's really going to come up here at home. The Bucks haven't played that good of basketball of late. Coming off a really good game, I think they're going to continue that. Now they are 4-0 ATS last 4 first half, 7-3 ATS last 10 first halves, and they are 3-1 ATS last 4 first half at home. So they handle business early. Gets a little late, might fuck around, but I do expect this game, honestly, to be out of reach by the fourth quarter. But I love the 6 here. The Bulls are 1-4 ATS last 5 first half. And like I mentioned, I just believe it'll come down to the board. Giannis and Portis and the boys will be eating early and often.
Yeah, and that's why I think the over, even if it's a blowout, it's a big if, but if it is a blowout and Milwaukee's up big, it can still get there because Chicago off the bench does have some shooters, some scorers. Troy Brown, that Matt Thomas, he can light it up from 3 if he gets, shooting well. We've seen that in the past. So, they've got some bench guys that can score Chicago even in a blowout. So if this is a blowout, it's a lot of times you think under in a potential blowout game, but you still get pace. You got guys on the bench for Chicago that can come in even if they're down by 20 and score points late in garbage time. So that, I think, helps the over here. Wham, what do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you guys. I think the first half is probably just got to be a must play for me in this game. -6, what I got it at as well. I just think that there's going to be just a bad defensive showing for this Bulls teams. We've seen it already. They just rank dead last in opponents' points per game over the last 5 games. 122 points, about a 12-point difference on what these two teams are allowing the opponents over the last 5 games. So I just think the defense is going to be a lot better, especially with Drew Holiday back. We were on it, like you said, in the last game. I think we got to keep going on it with early first quarter, first half. Split the unit for me. I took the first quarter -3, first half -6. So that's the way I'm rocking with it.
We got the Brooklyn Nets and the San Antonio Spurs now. Spurs 1.5 point home favorites, 234.5 the total in this game. Obviously, it's who's not playing that is influencing this line for the towards San Antonio. When you're talking about Kevin Durant ruled out for them, DeAndre Bembry a game time decision, and Nicholas Claxton as well. It looks like he's not going to be available due to a hamstring or an ankle injury or hamstring injury, actually keeping him out. So it could be a little bit of a shorthanded, depleted Brooklyn team. They did get a road win at Washington in their last game, 119-118. San Antonio coming off a blowout win, bounce back after a loss to Phoenix and blowing out the Thunder 118-96 in that one. When you look at it, though, I mean, Brooklyn's won 4 straight head-to-head between the Spurs and the Nets. Some of them have been close. A couple of them have been in overtime, but Brooklyn has won all these games. And San Antonio now favored. Brooklyn's been better this year consistently, both straight up and against the spread on the road. 16-5 straight up on the road here for Brooklyn. I question this line moving to the point it's moved. I mean, I know the Spurs were better last game against OKC, but to me, even if with Durant out, Brooklyn's good enough to win this game. I'm going to just wait and see whatever best number I can get on Brooklyn and take Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn, I want them on the road. I don't want them in the house. They're terrible at home, straight up, and even worse ATS. But on the road, yeah, I don't mind backing Brooklyn on the road, especially when I think they're better than San Antonio. So I'm just going to wait it out and look to back the Nets when I can get the number in the place I want it. Wham, what do you think here, Nets and Spurs?
Thank you there. Yeah, so on this game, James Harden, I mean, he's failed to go under 25, failed to go over 25.5 points out of 9 games, only went over it 3 times. Maybe he could bounce back in this game. I think I do agree with you. Maybe this is a Brooklyn spot. Spurs, in this series for both of these teams, they have went over, I believe, the last 6 games. No, sorry, it's the last 5 games within these 2 teams here. It just seemed like Brooklyn owns this team in that same span. They won 4 of those last 5 games. So you kind of think that, Brooklyn kind of does hold it down here. It is a pretty short number because you got the guys out. You're going to get Kyrie, I believe, right? Kyrie's going to be available in this game. So I just only would lean towards Brooklyn here in this spot. I haven't bet it yet or anything, but that and James Harden, maybe points. That's the way I would be going.
All right. Yeah, Pirtle props might be worth a look because the one thing San Antonio can do is take advantage of that Nets front court, which is nothing to write home about. So Pirtle props might be good. I actually do kind of like the over, and I might actually bet it. The only thing I was worried about is a very high number, 235. But you start to look at it, 139, 120, 140, 124, 113, 128, 116. 121, 119 just a few weeks ago. I mean, those have been the scores of these games head to head. So definitely it would be over for me at 235 if I'm betting this total. Dutch, what do you think here, Brooklyn, San Antonio?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Noli Knowles, Dan Kelly. I see you, my dude. Yeah, this game, man. I bet it last night at plus 3.5. So I don't really want to. I don't really want to go too much into it because I don't want to give it out as a pick. And it was plus money early, and it just continues to go. But I love the Spurs here at 3.5. I'm not gonna give it out at a pick. I believe it is now. But I just think the Spurs are gonna just put it on them. Really, they got a lot of guys back. They're 6-1 against the number last 7 versus opponents with 60% winning percentage or better. So they rise up to their opponents, and with no KD. I just don't think Brooklyn is going to be able to get it done. A lot of other injuries as well. 17-1 straight up last 18 meetings. The Spurs are against Brooklyn and San Antonio. So I believe it'll be churros and tequila tonight. Party time in San Antonio. But yeah, I beat the number 3.5. So I'm happy where I'm at. But crazy line movement.
Yeah, and rumblings around the channel here that's going to be party time in San Antonio in a couple of months from now. Details to follow.
My flight booked. I already full booked my flight, bro. You got to get the room.
Yeah, definitely. Skee, Brooklyn, San Antonio.
I like, I don't bet San Antonio home games under. I'm just going to say that right now. I think they're 14 out of 20 games have gone over. They haven't always been this high of a total, so maybe you're not getting a discount, but it's a one-way ticket. I mean, neither team is good defensively. Brooklyn actually bottom 5, I think, defensive rated team the last 5 games. And this game's going to be played with pace. So I lean towards an over, but I like Murray a little bit more. I play, his points at 20.5. He's gone over that 8 of the last 12 games. I played his assist at 8.5 at plus money. It's gone over 12 of the last 15 games, that 8.5 number. So, I like Murray tonight. And if I got to play it one way, I think it's a lot of points.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray for the Spurs. What a season he's putting together for them. Could have a big night because you're right. Brooklyn's been winning not because of their defense, though, lately. Oh, we had 300 live viewers a minute ago. Hit that like button. Let's go. Let's get that like count up. We appreciate our last show of the week. Give us some love here. Hit that like button. 297 live viewers. We appreciate it. We got 3 games left. Detroit, Utah. Utah, 13-point home favorites. 219.5 the total in this one. So I know the Pistons are very erratic, up and down. They can lose by 30 or 40, and they can win certain games and stun teams, which they've been able to do at times. They beat Utah at home earlier this month. I don't like that necessarily for backing Detroit tonight. It's revenge for Utah, for obviously the better team. And Detroit's had some ugly performances, lost at Chicago by 36, blown out by 27 by Phoenix, by 16 by Golden State, but they did win their last game at Sacramento. But I'm just going to come back to it with this Utah team, even in revenge for losing in Detroit earlier this month. How on earth do you lay this many points with the Jazz right now? I've said it now multiple shows in a row. I said it against Houston. I took Houston. I didn't expect Houston to win the game outright, but the Jazz are just burning your money if you're laying big points with them at the house right now. Vivint Arena in Salt Lake, they've been dreadful as home favorites now, and this has been for a while now. So Detroit for me, it's a small bet because I don't like the situation. Utah may not look past the Pistons here. Losing to Houston, is that a wake-up call? And they lost to Detroit earlier this month, but I still have to take the points with Detroit. They just are way too untrustworthy right now, Utah, especially with no Donovan Mitchell laying these many points at home. Skee, what do you think here? Pistons, Jazz.
My bad. There's no way in hell I'm laying these points with Utah. I know that they can't even win the games, and you need them to win by double digits. No, but Detroit, if they are at home, I'll be interested in them as a big dog on the road. I've seen them falter a couple of times, so I'm off that game. If I gotta play, maybe I'll play the over just because both defenses haven't really been doing anything. But it's a lot of other games on the board.
Yeah, that's true. The over would be the way I would go to from a total standpoint. Wham, Detroit, Utah.
Gotta make sure I'm hot.
You're good.
Sure I'm hot.
You're hot.
Man. This game is fucking definitely difficult here. Do I want to take Detroit, bro? Hell no. And I definitely don't trust Utah. They just been pretty much a bad, mediocre team. Seems just like the same shit that the Indiana Pacers are sipping on. They've been sipping on, and they just passed it over to the damn Jazz, and now the Indiana Pacers got rid of it. So this is a strange-ass game here, in my opinion. If I did take anything in this game, it would probably just be Corey Joseph assists. And that would be pretty much it if I was to look in the prospect. But that's it, bro. I don't want nothing to do with this.
All right, Dutch, Detroit, Utah.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Prince of the City. Hey, man, I'm with it. I'm with it, bro. Sounds good. Yeah, but my man Jared, he said it, man. Backwood, this motherfucker. This one of them Bobby Brown backwoods, back of the wood.
Dirty.
All right. Yeah, that's real back of the wood right there when you're bringing Bobby Brown's name into the conversation.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
Memphis and Denver. We got Denver 3.5-point home favorites, 225 the total in this matchup. Grizzlies beaten down by Milwaukee in their last game, 126-114, and of course they had their streak snapped by Dallas. So they've lost 2 out of their last 3. Suddenly they look human again. Memphis. They've actually remembered how to lose games. And they're still very banged up. You know, Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bain out, Kyle Anderson out for this team, Killian Tilly, a game-time decision. So got some key pieces out, but I'm going to look past all that and still take Memphis here, plus 3.5. Because how many times do we have to get burned by Denver? Now I'm finally going to go against Denver and watch them win by 5 or 10 or 15 here tonight. That's just sometimes the way it goes. But I'm going to dare them that that's not going to be the case. And even after the last losing 2 of the last 3, the Grizzlies, they're still just, almost a must-take when they're catching points on the road. I mean, their road numbers, the road dog numbers, the underdog numbers, all of those ATS numbers are just so good. They've covered 5 of the last 6 against Denver, and they've gone 4-2 straight up. 3-3 again straight up in those games, but 5-1 against the spread the last 6 head-to-head meetings with the Nuggets. I just don't trust the Nuggets laying points. You look at them as home favorites against the Clippers. They win in overtime barely. They lose to the Jazz, of course. At Sacramento, they barely win that game or barely cover as home favorites. Now they're playing a really good Memphis team off a loss, so the focus should be there for the Grizzlies. Yeah, they're missing some key pieces, but I'm still going to take the Grizz here plus the points. Dutch, we'll start with you here, Memphis, Denver.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy THC RZA, Mr. H-Town. Yeah, backwood this motherfucker, please, Big Show.
There we go. Backwood time. Wham! Memphis, Denver.
Yeah, man. This would have been a backwood here, but I do like Monte Morris over 1.5 threes. I did lock that in. I believe it's at -114. Now it's at -124. So you probably got to pay for the juice. He's hit it 4 of the last 8, so it's 50% as far as the hit rate there. But I do believe that this matchup is going to be able to let it fly. As far as like my guy said, Memphis may be the spy here. Just they're missing too many guys. I don't want to touch this Memphis team right now in this predicament that they're in. Seems like they're a little bit overwhelmed now. We will say last game it was a lot to do with the defense in the paint with the Bucks. They're holding opponents at a alarming low rate in points in the paint. So that's the reason why it was a little bit tough for Ja to get down there. So he should be able to get down there today. So I do see Memphis pulling it off here. I just like the Monte Morris 3 prop a little bit better, and they may hit in the first quarter.
All right, Skee, Memphis, Denver.
Yeah, I think these injuries really matter. I mean, looking at Memphis side, they're missing backup point guard. They're missing Dylan Brooks. They're missing Desmond Bain, most improved player candidate. So I just think it's a lot of guys who've contributed to why they've had success. Anderson too. So I think it's a little bit too much here, and it's tough to trust Denver for the full game. I think I have it right here. Denver for the full game are 18-25 against the spread this year. But on the first half, they've been better. I look at the margin on the year. They're number 3 in first half margin on the whole year. So they can play, for 24 minutes. It's just struggling. I mean, you struggle to get them to play for 24 more minutes. So I think in this one, I'll take Denver first half minus, I think, 2 points it is.
All right, Houston, Golden State. We've got the final game here of this Friday's NBA card. Golden State, 11-point home favorites, 229 the total. This is an interesting situation here because Golden State off a shocking loss to Indiana last night, 121-117. They were up comfortably at halftime and didn't play well in the second half. Indiana made shots. They got 5 guys and 7 players, I should say, in double figures last night. Indiana was balanced across the board, 39 points from Steph. And you still can't win last night against Indiana. Now you're on back-to-back. No travel because you're at home again, but still back-to-back. A rest advantage for Houston. Houston's covered 2 in a row, winning outright as dogs at Sacramento and then Utah in the very surprising victory after that. They're fully healthy for one of the few times this year. They got all hands on deck. Kevin Porter, Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood. They're all there for Houston. Yeah, it's an angry Golden State team. I understand that. I'd take Houston, though, before I'd take Golden State, though, in this one, in spite of that, with the points in this matchup here. Again, Draymond's still out for Golden State tonight. He won't play. Thompson also not playing as well tonight. They are resting him on the back-to-back here in this game tonight. So I'd still lean over here because with this game, Golden State, they should score on Houston. I know Houston's gone under 2 in a row, but they've still been giving up points. And you'd think Warriors have enough in the tank to get theirs. And I like what I'm seeing offensively, though, from the Rockets. They have played good offensive basketball the last 4 games. So I'd lean over, and I'd lean to the points with Houston in this game. Slight opinions for me in this one. Wham, we'll start with you here. Houston, Golden State.
Yeah, this is obviously one of those games that I'm looking to add onto my card, and it's right there with you, Babano. I think that this Golden State team, like I said, mentioned about the Lakers earlier, I just think they showed us how struggled it can be without Draymond. I mean, without Draymond, they're in and out. Guys are in and out the lineup. I am pissed off about the Jonathan prop that we had, the Kuminga prop, because he had 4 fucking rebounds in the first quarter, only playing 6 minutes. Then they pull him and yank him. Probably preserving him for today. I can see him doing it again. I'm not going to be on it, though, even though I appreciate that, but I'm just not going to be on it. I don't trust Steve Kerr's lineups at this point. As far as the guys in and out the lineup, I do expect Jordan Poole to bounce back. He had a bad game. I think he shot 0 for 5 from the 3 last game. But this team does play really good defense from 3. That's something I did want to mention here as well. They're ranked 8th in opposing opponents' 3-point percentage at 32%. Over the last 5 games, which is ranked 8th. I'm sorry. I believe that this is just going to be a nail batting type of game like you seen yesterday, and maybe even a win here, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even a win for the Houston Rockets, an outright win here. So I think the 10.5 is definitely something I'm going to be on my radar later on tonight.
Yeah, I'll back up your stats. You said Warriors without Green struggling. How about 2-5 straight up? 2-5 against the spread this month. Golden State without Draymond Green. So there is something to that. And the only wins were Chicago, a depleted Bulls team, and they were depleted at the time, and Detroit. Those were the 2 wins without Draymond for Golden State during that time. Skee, what do you think here? Houston, Golden State.
Yeah, no secret. I like the more rested teams. So you have Golden State playing last night in an overtime game, and Houston at least having a day's rest. You know, Houston's been playing good basketball lately. I think they've won and covered 3 of their last 4 games. They for sure have they might have all been on the road, but I think they for sure covered and won 3 of their last 4 road games. They're playing good right now, and they're the more rested team. So that's who I'm gonna roll with, getting double digits in this one. I just think Golden State is tired. You know, they're playing Steve Kerr. Even said that they're tired the other day before one of the other games. They should be even more tired now. 6 game in 9 days, off an overtime game. You know, give me the plus 10.5 for Houston.
Yeah, when you put it like that, off an overtime game and 6th game in 9 days, that's a lot of basketball in a short period of time. Do they hit a wall tonight? We'll have to wait and see. What do you think, Dutch?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy G Martinez. Rants, I see. John Doe, Mr. John Doe, huh? Okay, yeah, man. This game it's a backwood for me. It's a backwood, man. It is a backwood. Hey, what do we got here? We got 150 likes. Yo, if y'all want Skee to finish us off tonight, you want him to bless y'all with the finisher. Hit the 200 for us. Hit the 200. My man Skee gonna close us out. We got to get to that 200. But yeah, backwood.
Yeah, 150. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's go. 150 likes. Hit the like button if you want Skee to do the outro for the show today.
If not, I'll bless you. I don't give a fuck. But I would appreciate the 200 on here. Skee do his thing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Hit the like button. 150 likes to get there. If you want to hear Skee put a wrap on the show today here on the NBA Pub Hub. Great stuff with Skee, with Wham, with Dutch. Thanks to everyone in the chat. 319 live viewers. Hit that like button. Best bets, freshest look coming up.
Yeah.
All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off using promo code PubSports, Lawnmower 4.0, or any Manscaped product. And MyBookie.ag, NFL divisional playoffs this weekend. Can't wait. NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. It's all going on. No better time than now to sign up for an account. MyBookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. And there's the Pub Rub, $14.99 or 2 for $25. Get it, pubsportsradio.com. And we're going to try to get it. Get the money, that is. Get the cash with best bets for the last time this week and Dutch's freshest look. Dutch, we'll start with you. Freshest look.
Yeah, man, we're about 15 there. Hit that motherfucking like button like these motherfucking Milwaukee Bucks about to hit these motherfucking Bulls straight over their head. Lock it in first half, -6. It's fear the motherfucking deer early and often. Yeah, man.
There you go. Fear the deer. Milwaukee Bucks first half against the Chicago Bulls, -6. Freshest look for Dutch on this Friday. Wham, best bet.
Man, we about to go to Orlando where Magic won't mean anything, man. I'm talking about Magic Johnson and the Orlando Magic. It's going to be the Lakers first half -2. Let's get them King James.
There you go. Lakers -2 against the Magic in the first half for Wham with his best bet. Skee, best bet.
Best bet. I think it's too much for Golden State tonight. I'm gonna bet Rockets plus the 10.5 points. Not the sexy pick, but I like it.
There you go. Houston +11 against Golden State. Their best bet for Skee on this Friday NBA card. And my best bet for this Friday card, I'm going to roll with the hometown boys for the first. I don't think I've done the Raptors as a best bet all year, and I like this for them tonight. It's time for them to finally win a close game. Washington is not as good as Dallas, is not as good as Miami, is not as good as Phoenix, and the Raptors had every shot to win those 3 games against those 3 teams. Tonight's the night they get over that hump, they win a close game, and they finally get one on this road trip. Raptors +1 against the Wizards, and I'd argue they're in better form than the Wizards right now too. Raptors get it done for me tonight for the Friday best bet. And that'll wrap it up. Let's go. How many likes do we have? Do we have enough?
9 more likes.
Hit
Nah,
that
these
like
motherfuckers,
button.
Ski. They like your boy DB a little
7
more, man. Hey,
more.
we close, but we ain't pitching fucking horseshoes, man. Hit the motherfucking like button.
Hit that like button. You want Skee to wrap it up and do the Dutch impression. Let's go.
Give me that bitch. Give me that bitch,
Yep.
Big Show. We about to take it out.
Hit that like button.
Hey,
All right, you're running out of time. We got to get off the air.
Finish this off. Finish this off, Ian. Send it to me.
All right, good stuff. We've got
It's at
Net
200.
Profit
It's at
College
200.
basketball.
At 200.
We got it.
We there.
You motherfuckers
You're there.
lazy,
All
man,
right.
making us stay here.
All right,
extra for your
here
ass.
you go.
Shit.
His shining
do that
moment is
again.
about to arrive. Stay tuned. College basketball with Maxwell and Connor Mack coming up next, right after us. We'll be back Monday for Dutch, for Wham, for Skee. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern for the NBA Pub Up on Pub Sports Radio. Not Dutch. Skee, take us home.
Hey, I'm gonna do my best, man. Shout out all the ladies and DJs in the chat. Hit the motherfucking like button. We went in, we coming out with the motherfucking bag. So y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah,
We be
man.
bumping.
Yeah, man.